New York City polling locations swatted. This comes after there were bomb threats sent to polling locations in New Jersey earlier on Election Day. They say, according to a report from the New York Post, the FBI and other authorities are investigating swatting incidents, which include a polling site in Harlem. Authorities are probing the emails which were sent to election workers. An NYPD source told the New York Daily News, quote, "We believe it's an elaborate swatting attempt. The emails make terroristic threats. Polling sites have not been shut down in response to the swatting emails, but the emails reportedly sent between 6 a.m. and 9:30 a.m. to the Board of Elections, and workers opened up the email in Harlem, Greenwich Village, and Midtown." They got the comma in the wrong spot, by the way, post-millennial. The threat in the email was deemed not credible by the NYPD. But we also did see that there were bomb threats made, and according to ABC, an arrest has been made in the New Jersey Election Day bomb threats. They say it was not immediately clear whether the subject of the arrest, a juvenile, was also responsible for Election Day threats made against other locations. The authorities in New Jersey made an arrest Tuesday in connection with bomb threats directed at a school polling location in North Brunswick Tuesday morning. Prosecutors said this afternoon. The scary thing there is it may actually be that multiple people were making bomb threats and not one person. Yikes. Now, let's talk about where we are as a nation with all of these threats. I've got Decision Desk pulled up right here. And I'd like to, I'll first point out that they're saying Abigail Spanberger is a greater than 99% chance to win at this point in Virginia with the results that have come in so far, only 30% reporting. The scary thing is Jay Jones has moved up to an 80.8% chance of beating Jason Miyares to become the top law enforcement official in Virginia. This is a man who privately sent messages saying he wants the children of his rivals to be murdered so that it would affect their views on policy. And he said that if he was given the choice, he'd put 2 bullets in the head of his GOP rival. And now he's going to be in charge of law enforcement in Virginia, should he actually win. And that's the projections we have so far. I don't see how this is, how Miyares is going to pull ahead in this regard. But we, of course, are still tracking all of the election here. Miyares is at 49.1 to Jones's 50.9. Theoretically, he could turn things around. We are currently waiting for the polling stations in New York to close. We don't know what's going to happen, but there are many whales in New York who have been wagering a lot of money on Cuomo to win. So we'll be tracking all of this live. We do have a bunch of other stories to get to, but in the meantime, gentlemen, what's going on?
Yeah, well, I just want to say, first of all, like anyone that's been saying, oh, political violence is so beyond the pale, you know, this, that, and the other, and then you went out and cast a ballot for Jay Jones, like you've lost your right to posture that you have any concern over political violence, because he said explicitly that he wishes death upon his political opponents. You've just exemplified that you actually prioritize partisan politics over political violence, like full stop. So I'm sick of seeing all these people that probably, you know, gave this big speech about how it's so horrible the direction our country is going in, and then went out and cast a ballot for this guy. I mean, it's a total joke, but it's not unexpected whatsoever.
Not surprising. I think the point here is that we have seen the Democrats are okay with this guy sent these private messages, right, that were advocating violence against his political enemies and their children. And at the same time, we have conservatives who are very worried about policing our own ranks in private group chats. People who are not running for elected office, they're not political officials. At the same time, the Democrats are doing this this is the candidate for Attorney General in Virginia, okay? This is one of our most important states, and they're all right with this. And then the conservatives are saying, oh, well, we have to make it a priority to denounce these 25-year-old, 22-year-olds who are saying some naughty, mean jokes in group chats. These are two parties that one of them is very concerned with stopping jokes, and the other one is concerned with winning.
Right. Yeah, I mean, like, look, if all these people that are supposedly on the team spent half the energy that they used, like, just trying to destroy these kids' lives and actually spent it on maybe trying to, I don't know, win the attorney general race in Virginia, we wouldn't have this problem. But these people are just so obsessed with punching right. They're so obsessed with posturing and whatnot that they just lose focus on what we're trying to do here. And JD Vance, like, set the tone.
Patriot.
He framed it excellently. He's like, I don't really care what's going on when you have Jay Jones threatening to kill his political opponents. I mean, like, who cares?
They're children.
Right.
I mean, this is depravity, and what terrifies me is it shows he lost not a single endorsement.
Nope.
Yep.
He's on track to win. He only dropped a few points in the polls. Right now, according to Decision Desk, he's 51.2% to 48.8%, with Miara's total votes 38% reporting. It's looking pretty good for him. They don't care. Stop pretend like okay, guys. I want to say this: conservatives are really stupid people. I'm sorry. I'm just going to say they're real stupid. Democrats have been setting things on fire, rioting, murdering people for years now, and Republicans keep thinking there's an argument. Jay Jones' leaked messages were from years ago, 2 years ago, where he said he wanted the Republicans' children to be murdered and dying in their arms because that would make them change their views on policy. That is the most psychotic, totalitarian, authoritarian thinking you could ever expect. And Democrats are cheering for this and voting for it. And right now, real-time tracking, 84.7% likelihood that Jones actually wins. So for years, Democrats have been going on TV going, we're the peaceful ones. And Republicans are like, hey, wait a minute. You guys can't say that. This is ridiculous. All due respect to Scott Jennings going on CNN and having these debates. These people are sitting there. Probably when he gets up and leaves, they'll start busting out laughing, being like, I can't wait until the violence escalates. I'm gonna stop there as to what I actually think these people think, but I think you get it. Conservative, I cannot believe Jay Jones is tracking to win, and it looks like he's going to. I hope he doesn't. It's not official yet, but they are. It's 84% right now that he does. These people are not arguing with you. Behind the scenes, they are clapping and cheering for murder. They are celebrating the death of Charlie Kirk. They are happy someone killed him. And this is where we are right now with conservatives constantly going, well, we have to bring things back and have a conversation. Donald Trump called for the end of the filibuster, and John Thune says, no, we don't get the votes. We're not going to do it. Mm-hmm. Oh, boy, am I excited for when Democrats take back over and start locking all the Republicans up and they go, I can't believe this is happening to us, but I thought we were going to have a debate.
Yeah.
They had a generational opportunity after Charlie's assassination to crack down on the left and left-wing terrorism. And 2 weeks after that, they said, we're going to go after these funding networks. We're going to crack down. We're going to do this. It might take some time. And then immediately half of them shift their focus to these kids in a group chat are saying some naughty things, and we must immediately denounce these people, even though at the same time, the left has their candidate for attorney general in Virginia, and all of the Democrats are like, it's very important what Tim said. He didn't lose an endorsement. They're like, oh, well, we'll leave that up to the voters. I'm not going to denounce anything. I'm not going to say anything. And Republicans, the conservatives, are the first one to say, oh, well, we Politico did a bad story on us, and they said something naughty was in a group chat, and they're like, oh, we have to, these 25-year-olds are out of control. We have to police them and destroy their lives. Charlie, before one of his most important old posts that I had seen was that he said, I would rather go to battle with 300 courageous fighters than with 1,000 spineless, weak conservatives who will run for the hills every time the media calls them a bad man.
Yeah.
And we should remember that in Charlie's legacy. And what's so disgusting is these people are using Charlie's life as like an excuse to like crack down on conservatives when we have much, much bigger problems.
I want to show you guys this video, and I want you to tell me what you think is happening.
Make you rest. Make you rest. And then he wake up tonight when you get this sweet.
Bye, Red.
Say bye-bye.
See you soon.
What was that?
Make you rest.
This is Jay Jones.
Red, be good.
And
What's
then
he doing?
wake up tonight
What's this?
when you get this sweet.
What was that?
Say bye-bye.
I'm not trying to suggest that dude was trying to punt a dog at the field goal, but he tried to kick that dog. And what's weird is, do you know why this is really weird to me? Phil, can you explain what is the analogy example I always use about media smears?
I'm not sure which one you're referring to.
I always make this analogy when I talk about how the media lies about Donald Trump, and everyone in the audience knows it. I always say the media will come out and say something like Donald Trump kicked a dog.
Oh, yes. Okay. Yeah.
And then literally we get this video where Jay Jones takes a swing at a dog. Why? What's he doing? Again, I'm not trying to claim he was trying to punt the dog or anything, but he literally goes for a swing and the dog just kind of gets out of the way. What's he doing?
Between this, Hassan Piker, and they're like running cover for the Haitians in Springfield, keep your dogs, like keep an eye on them. These people are coming after him. I mean, it's totally out of control.
I don't understand why this dude tried to kick that dog. What is this? And then he gives it a little whap.
I mean, look, this is funny and stuff, but I think that it's worth, kind of driving the point home that conservatives in Virginia, you're not going to get fair treatment under the law anymore. As long as this guy is the AG, if you live in Virginia and you're a conservative, you're going to be held to a different standard than Democrats will be.
If you're a gun owner,
of course,
you're cooked. Yep. The reason he wanted the children murdered was because he believed that if his rivals' children, this is my understanding from the reporting, if his rivals' children were shot and killed, they would become anti-gun. And he wanted that to happen so that they would support gun control measures. This is a man who believes your children should be murdered so that you give up your guns. What will he do with the power of the state backing him?
Right.
And I think that overall tonight, the Virginia governor has been called by multiple places, Spangenberg, one or whatever her name is.
Scamburger.
It's looking like the Democrats are going to sweep across basically all of the important races that are going on. And there is the historical precedent that Democrats tend to win, or the opposing party tends to have better turnout and better results in the next elections after a significant sweep by the opposing party.
But I don't think that is in play anymore
At all? Why?
The idea was the reason why. If the Republicans won, then the next election cycle, the Democrats would win. If the Democrats won, the Republicans would win. It's because people were in between, for the most part, the parties. The Democratic Party was about a third. The Republican Party was like less than a third. And then you had around 40 or so percent of people who were kind of like, I don't know, I could go either way. I don't believe we're in that world anymore, where the Republicans win, and then regular middle-of-the-road people are like, maybe the Republicans were a bad choice. I'll consider Democrat. Because Jay Jones, talking about killing people, the assassination of Charlie Kirk, the arrest of Donald Trump's lawyers, all of these things are so psychotically extreme. I think the issue is more so, it's not about whether people's are like, I can't decide between Democrat or Republican. It's an issue of whether or not you can muster up fear within your party of the other side winning. And so what I think we're seeing now is, after Donald Trump wins, Republicans win in the Senate and the House. They've already got the Supreme Court. They basically said, it's over, we win. And they're not turning out. I think the issue principally is turnout among Republicans thinking, we did it, we won. And now Democrats are taking some of the most important positions in these states. But most Republicans who helped get this victory, I mean, we're talking about the AG in Virginia. Most Americans do not care about this.
Sadly. And that is sort of the difference in the mindset. Democrats are very active and organized. I think conservatives are super good at online organization, much better than the liberals and the left are, because we've kind of lived in that sphere for so long. We're working against a hostile media. But Democrats on the ground, their ground game, at least like locally in terms of like school board elections, et cetera, they are much, much more active. In Kentucky, where I live, we have a group of probably 15 or so people that go out every couple weeks and protest at the Republican Party building of Kentucky. And you just don't have that same sort of thing among like our side, right? We don't go and like protest because we're actually like doing jobs, we're working, we're not just free on some random Tuesday all the time. But we have to get more. We have this mindset where we won the presidency and we think we're in control. We think we've won. Actually, we've won like a very small amount compared to the long march through the institutions that the Democrats have done. We tend to think, oh, we won one election, that means we are in power. That's not necessarily true.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I think it's Orrin McIntyre. He says the party that wants to win will always beat the party that wants to be left alone.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
just this mindset that needs to be completely beat out of conservatives, because it's like they're not going to leave you alone. They want to kill you. Like they've said it explicitly.
Yeah, that's I think that's something that the right needs to internalize. There's a lot of people that don't really believe that Democrats are actually as willing to resort to violence as they are. You know, whether it be, you know, the old people that were on the streets talking about, you know, it's okay that Charlie Kirk was killed because there was, you know, it was the boomers that were out during the No Kings protest, really, and they were out there saying no, it's perfectly fine. Charlie Kirk was this terrible person, totally misrepresenting everything he's ever said and everything he stood for, but saying that it's perfectly acceptable to kill conservatives just because they're conservatives. This isn't a hypothetical or just you know, bluster and hyperbole. This is actually you know, the beginnings of Radio Rwanda, which we've talked about that here before. Like when one party continuously says you're evil and it's okay to kill them and it's okay to attack them, et cetera, you have that coming from the media largely. You got MSNBC like literally broadcasting it. And then when you make these points, the people like Democrats are consistently, oh, well, you know, the conservatives too, Republicans too, and both sides, et cetera, which is patently false. You know, but now we are living in a world where conservatives really do have to think, all right, my safety is probably in question. At the very least, I know that in certain places, I can't expect the law to protect me the same way that it would protect someone with different political opinions.
Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.